It's done. Roll the powder intro. All right, on today's What Did We Powder? We have the seats and backs of those chairs that we got caught up sandblasting yesterday for umpteen hours, and basically they're blue spring pearl. It's kind of like a Tiffany blue, and came out really nice. So tomorrow they'll get clear coated, and then we'll do the bases a white color, and then I will show you guys what they look like all together. So that's what we powdered today. Okay, let's finish the vlog today. I want to talk about my 5 biggest influencers in my life. This is in no particular order, and this isn't necessarily people I've interacted with during my life. It's just people that influence me, inspire me, etc. So let's get started. First one, my dad. And I know you're all going to be like, oh, the mushy gushy. No, I'm not trying to get all mushy and whatever. The way my dad has influenced me throughout my life, he is one of the hardest working men I know, period. And I know everybody says that about their dad, but I've actually had more people in probably about the last 3 years tell me how hard he works comparatively to anyone else they've seen, that it's amazing. I mean, we're talking about a guy that in the summer, when it's prime time, because he does a construction business in Michigan, so he obviously can't do it year round, we're talking about a guy that will work 80, 90, 100 hours a week by himself, toting concrete, blocks, brick, whatever, never complains, never anything, just goes, does it, has to be done, so he does it. That's it, plain and simple. So he's contributed huge to my life, my work ethic. Obviously, he supported me for a long time, which I'm forever grateful for. Even though he'll never see this video because he's not on the internet. He can barely turn a computer on, but whatever. Anyway, so he's number 1. Number 2, Henry Ford. And I know you guys are going to say, well, I've never even heard you talk about Henry Ford very much, let alone how does he influence your life, okay? There's a great documentary about Henry Ford on Netflix. If you guys are interested in documentaries at all and you watch them, check it out. Talks about his life, how he started from nothing, how he built the Ford company, how he basically had the Ford company taken away from him and reacquired it. And the ideas he had, the visions he had for different things. I mean, the guy started a rubber farm in South America so he could produce his own tires. Like, it's amazing some of the innovations and concepts he had for different things that never even came to fruition, but he like started working on, but then he died, so it didn't work out. You know, the guys of that era from, like, I want to say the 20s to the 70s, there was this era of people who really influence. I want to say it's one of the greatest eras of all times. You know, up to this point, obviously things get better, but he just, like I said, go watch the documentary. I'll explain a lot of what I know. And another reason he's a huge influence on my life is he basically brought the automobile to your average everyday consumer. My life revolves around motorcycles, cars, you know, basically anything with a motor. Had he not done that and we didn't have all this technology and all these automobiles and motorcycles and everything, I wouldn't do half of what I do right now. Like powder coating, half of my jobs I do are wheels for cars. So if he had never gotten past that point, if he would have quit, not done the Ford Motor Company, not made the Model A, any of that stuff, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. So huge influence on my life. Next one, and this one's kind of a newer one within the last like year here. Casey Neistat. Now I know we're going all across the board here, from my dad to, you know, Henry Ford, to now we're on to Casey Neistat. Casey influenced my life because without him I would have never started this vlog. And you know, I watched a lot of his stuff. I like the way he does it. There's a lot of people on YouTube who have like, oh, we're going to have a channel for our vlog, and we're going to have a channel for our how-tos, and we're going to have a channel for this and a channel for that. And he does it a lot like I do it, and I kind of modeled, I guess, mine after it a little bit. Of his channel encompasses anything he wants to make a video on. If he wants to make a how-to, if he wants to make a public service announcement about politics, if he wants to do his vlog, if he wants to, you know, whatever, an inspirational bit, it doesn't matter. He does it all. He does it all on one channel, and he influences me to up my production value of my videos, which I struggle with from time to time. I have ideas on how to do grander videos, but there's a lot of work into that, and I'd like to do more, better, different stuff with the vlog like he does. You know, not exactly copying him, because I don't want to copy anybody with anything. I have my own, you know, audience to do stuff with, but it's, you know, it's just about finding it, figuring it out. But the guy's got a good work ethic. He literally, another guy came from nothing. And those are a lot of the guys that influence you, because those are the guys with the hard work ethic that get to the top because they have no other knowledge base on how to do stuff than just to grind it out. So, but I like the way he does his videos. I like his productions. I like everything about his video productions, and what he does. And so that's why he influences me. Every time he posts a video, I watch it as soon as it comes out. And I go back and I watch a lot of his older vlogs and stuff and try and pick up on ideas of, hey, what can I do in mine? You know, what shots could I get? What, you know, what kind of music could I edit to for certain things? You know, all sorts of stuff like that. So, and he has helped me with some ideas, just by going back and watching his stuff. Next person, Elon Musk. This guy, I've had a video before talking about him. He blows my mind. He is like the modern day equivalent of some of those guys from that era I was talking about, like the 20s to the 70s. He wants to innovate. He wants to inspire. He wants to push everything to the next level. And I just watched his talk from TED, for the TED Expo, the other day, and just talking about Tesla, and I think it's the Model 3 is coming out, or the Tesla semi-truck that's coming out that's going to outperform any diesel truck on the road, or you know, even into his dabblings in the solar industry, the Tesla power cells, the gigafactories he's doing, SpaceX, the tunnels under LA that are a side project for him and his interns. Unbelievable. The guy is just, he's super inspiring. He influences me to want to get to that level where I can kind of do something for the betterment of humanity. And, you know, that's a lot of what he's doing, you know, renewable energies, electric cars, you know, traveling, being able to travel to space and colonize a different planet and all this stuff like that he's trying to get to. That kind of stuff inspires me to go out and try to get to that level where I can do that type of stuff. So, again, huge influence on my life. Really, in the last year, I've really started looking into him. I'd heard about him before, but I never really looked that far into him, and now I'm looking more and more into him, just because I enjoy listening to him talk about the developments and how they can do it, and how people take a very, very complicated subject with things and make it sound complicated so you don't want to do anything with it, but he turns around and makes it sound very simple, which is nice. So yeah, again, huge influence, makes you think about the future and how you can progress and everything. And the last one in my top 5, and again, these are no particular order, but everybody's going to know who knows me that this is probably one of the biggest ones, Walt Disney. Walt Disney was in that era, like I talked about, the 30s to the 70s, of guys that just wanted to change the world and make it better and everything in between. And he tried, you know, he did inventions with film and video that no one had ever done before. Obviously, you got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, first animated film. He created the multi-plane camera for doing the animation stuff. tons and tons of stuff with film he did. Then he started the theme parks and took it from theme parks from this gross, nasty, grubby, no one really wanted to go. It was kind of like the underbelly of entertainment to mainstream, and you took your family and your kids there, and it was clean and it was nice. And then even going into when he was entered into the Florida Project, and the Florida Project originally, when he wanted to do that, now we all know it as Walt Disney World, and it's 4 theme parks and tons of hotels and this huge just vacation entertainment destination. When he originally started that, he wanted to do some of that stuff, but he wanted to make it an experimental prototype city to kind of push the limits of what man could do. And if you haven't heard of some of the stuff he was trying to do, go look it up. I mean, there's all sorts, like the monorail, there's different rides, and he made these rides, but he made these rides to push the limits of technology, to try to invent new technology so that we could have a better thing. I watched a video the other day about the monorail he created. And most of us have probably been there, seen the monorail, heard about the monorail, rode the monorail. They actually created the monorail, drew up plans to put a monorail system in LA, into the point of they had done all the research, they had done all of the testing, everything. They had working models running at the amusement park in Anaheim, and they said, hey, here you go, this is all you got to do, this is where you can put this and this is how it'll work, this is how much it'll cost, you fund it, put it in, and you'll have a mass transit system, of the first mass transit monorail in the United States, whatever. And the city of LA basically threw it away. And you look at it now and it's like, wow, that was stupid. I mean, you had a economical, quiet, doesn't take up hardly any foot space, mass transit system that was designed for you, and you just threw it in the garbage. So, again, guy pushed the limits of technology everywhere, and just really influences me and has influenced me. And this guy has influenced me for years, probably about going on 6, 7, 8 years now. I've really studied him, and I have documentaries of his that I watch all the time, and books that are wrote about him and his theme parks and all his different company, all that kind of stuff. I've got tons of information on him, and he just has influenced my life. I mean, obviously I was in the entertainment industry for 11 years. Still wish to be in the entertainment industry, obviously doing my own, and that's in the plans for about 3 to 5 years down the road right now, is to re-enter that realm, but under my own power and with my own money, and do my own thing with that, and inspires and influences me to actually make that dream come to fruition. And I'm sure it will, because it's been a big dream of mine for a while to do that. So, it just takes time, planning, and execution. And right now we have plenty of time. I've planned it multiple times in different ways, and I'm still working on different plans for it, because you want to go in with what you think is the most perfect plan to do something like that. And then once we get the money to execute it, we'll execute it. So those are my top 5 influencers in my life. If you guys want to comment below with your top 5 influencers, feel free to. I'd love to talk about other people's people who influence other people. I have, there's many more people than that, but that's what I've got for right now. So that's it for the vlog today. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see everyone tomorrow. It's going to rain, but we have lots to do. So see you guys.